Howdy there, Isaac here. Intros are for suckers, so let's find out what may have happened if Cell survived his own games. The story starts now. The fight between Cell and Hit starts out as you'd expect, with the Bugman using a series of jabs to test out his opponent. However, when Hit retaliates with a devastating jab of his own, things are quickly put into perspective. Now, Cell knew this guy was strong, but he probably could give Frieza a run for his money, something that sort of scared and excited the android. He began fighting harder, slowly using more and more of his power to match the assassin, who still seemed unconcerned with his abilities. Cell noticed that he couldn't perceive the attacks of Hit, meaning he was either just that fast, or it was some sort of technique. The first option was ruled out pretty easily, as if the assassin were that fast, he'd make better use of the momentum to ring him out. In that case, Cell would just have to figure out what this technique was. Their fight goes on for quite some time, so much so that Hit begins to wonder just how his opponent is still alive, as he had struck just about every vital point he could think of. Perhaps this creature had different vital points? But no, he was injured with each strike, so perhaps he could just heal. Hit figures that he just needs to strike as many vital points as he can before Cell heals, and Cell finally figures out the time skip, at least the basics of it, and begins to block his opponent's jabs. The two slowly ramp up in power, with Hit overtaking the android and starting to hit several vital points in a row, something that really affects Cell. The Bugman falls to his knees, seemingly beaten and holding his chest. Hit tells him to give up, as if things continue, he'll be able to kill him with the next attack. That's when the android whispers something under his breath, and before Hit can figure it out, a blinding red aura surrounds Cell, who jumps up and lands a jaw-cracking uppercut. This shocks everyone watching. Well, aside from Goku, who's still a little upset that Cell managed to figure out the technique. The android takes up an offensive stance and smirks at Hit. That was a pretty fun warm-up, but the real fight starts now. Cell yells out Kaioken times 3, before blitzing Hit and landing several heavy punches on the assassin. At this point, all Hit can do to counter is use this time skip, which works with mixed results. At first, Cell manages to block every single strike, but as Hit is pushed to his limits and surpasses them, he begins landing a few strikes here and there. The assassin also notices that this technique takes a toll on Cell, seemingly damaging his body and therefore slowing his reaction time. The tables begin to even once more, but that's when Cell yells out times 5, and Hit is once again on the back foot. This back and forth battle continues on for quite some time, until the toll of Kaioken finally rears its head, and Cell can no longer walk. While normally he could heal himself, the real defining factor is stamina, something that's been absolutely drained during the entire fight, especially once he used times 10 and went way over his limit. However, Hit is also near his limit, having fought an opponent capable of pushing him time and time again within only one battle. The assassin admits Cell is unlike anyone he's fought in quite some time, and says it's been an honor before kicking the Bugman out of the ring. Mei and Goten are amazed at just how strong Cell's gotten, and the little bug girl wonders if she can learn that Kaio whatever, but her father wants a break from hearing that word. The Bugman is out of luck, since Goku goes up against Hit next, and he loves the word Kaioken, though ultimately falls against the improved Hit as well. At this point, the assassin is having trouble standing, but continues to soldier on, staring down his next opponent and promising to make this fight quick.
Quick! Oh please, what's the rush? Give me a battle worth fighting, assassin.
Buu flings a pink blob at Hit, who tries to dodge, but it still lands. At first, he's scared of whatever this ability is, but then he notices that he feels rejuvenated.
There. Now don't hold anything back.
Buu flies straight at Hit, who uses his time skip to great effect, completely dodging the Majin and landing several strikes on his back. But these only cause Buu to laugh, stating that he'll need more than that to phase him. The Majin kicks Hit so hard that it actually causes him to spit up blood. This puts the assassin on edge, since this creature is on a completely different level compared to Cell. Noticing this, the Majin kicks this fight into high gear, blitzing his opponent and seemingly reading his time skip like a book. Any damage Hit does land is completely healed up, whilst he's being battered around like an ant. Buu begins to laugh maniacally, whilst Hit tries to power up, becoming desperate in this fight.
My, your anger is clouding your judgment.
Buu easily dodges a flurry of punches before striking Hit's stomach with a knee.
Use your mind, assassin. If I could heal you up to 100%, then I'm logically stronger. Not to mention...
Hit tries to use his time skip to escape, but Buu grabs him by the neck, holding on to him with an iron grip.
Your movements are too easy to read. Every time you use that ability, you tense up. Learn to relax a little, assassin.
Hit was struggling to escape Buu's grasp, but the Majin's body wrapped around him before acting as a giant mouth and spitting him out of the ring. And just like that, Universe 7 wins, much to Champa's annoyance. Hit is absolutely horrified that such a creature could exist, not to mention he could sense the evil contempt within him, half expecting to look up and see it about to eat him. But when the assassin did finally peer up, he saw Buu high-fiving Goten and Mei, who were both excitedly talking about his fight. Cell, who could finally walk again, hobbled over towards Hit, helping him up.
Isn't he
Evil? Oh no. He was just acting like that to push you to become a better fighter. He breaks you down, telling you about your weaknesses, so that next time you'll be stronger. Kinda harsh, but he's the nicest guy I know. Just then, the Majin turned several tiles of kachin into candy, handing some out to the children whilst scarfing down the rest. Okay, that was it. Hit had enough of this day, walking off and promising he'd beat them next time. Cell accepts this before joining the rest of his team in celebration. However, that's when Zeno arrives and the rest goes about how you'd expect. Universe 6 gets an Earth of its own, whilst Goku makes sure the TOP happens in the future. Goten and Kaba say their goodbyes, and Mei tells Frost that he should probably invest in that golden form thing that Frieza can do. The Icing isn't sure what she's talking about, and Mei just kinda shuts up and realizes she probably shouldn't have said that. Anyways, the Z Fighters all travel back to Earth, excluding Goku, who has to stay in the realm of the gods because he's still not alive. Cell is surprised that Buu wanted to visit Earth, but then notices him flying straight towards Gohan's house, and remembers his friendship with Hercule. Huh, that Majin really was a good guy. Well, the kids wanted to go to Capsule Corp in order to see Trunks and show him everything that happened. There, Bulma throws a party for the Universe 7 team, especially since Vegeta had been pushing himself so hard. Despite the prince wishing to train more, Bulma practically forces him and Trunks to join the party. After all, with hard work came even harder play. A few days later, Cell and his crew were about to leave when a rather crude machine appeared over Capsule Corp. Since the Z-Fighters had gathered to say farewell to the Bugman, everyone who was around during the Cell saga immediately knew who this was. Once Future Trunks was recovered and laid in a bed, Buu gets to work on healing him. Much like in the anime, Trunks wakes up and strikes at the Majin, using every trick in the book to fight the pink bubblegum monster. The Hybrid Saiyan is fighting so ferociously that it takes both Vegeta and Cell to hold him back. When the Saiyan finally calms down, he begins to explain just what's happened in his timeline. Apparently, someone resembling Super Buu appeared around a year ago and started causing trouble. This greatly saddens our Buu, who's hearing of all the atrocities he had committed in the future timeline. The Z Fighters all just figure Buu had somehow been revived and had grown stronger before confronting Trunks. However, the present Majin feels that something is off. If this were true, why hadn't he been revived in his pure form? And why not just destroy the Earth and eat all of its inhabitants? Well, there was one way of trying to figure things out. Buu asked Trunks to spar with him. The two do so, and future Trunks confirms he can't completely sense either his or future Buu's ki at all, something that greatly concerns the Majin. He had only recently learned how to fully utilize his innate God ki, and while a future Buu may have the time to do so, Whis was a pretty good teacher, unlike any other in the universe, in fact. There was a conspiracy here, one which thickened once a portal opened up in the sky and revealed his doppelganger wearing dark clothing. Buu, with a mixture of excitement and fear, teleported in and began beating Black without mercy. No matter how strong he got, there was no way Buu could ever open portals to another timeline. This was above any ability he had. Whoever this future Buu was, they were dangerous and had to be stopped immediately. The imposter is completely outclassed, but before he can be finished off, the portal begins closing, though Black is given enough time to destroy the time machine. After a few minutes to process and recover from that fight, the group wonder what they can do. Vegeta brings up asking the GOD about this imposter, especially since their ki felt far different from Buu's. The genie agrees and teleports over, grabbing Whis and Beerus before informing them of what's happened. While hearing of time travel does irritate the cat, once Buu makes a copy of what Black looked like, the two gods can't help but notice the Potara and Kai clothing. Whilst this goes on, Vegeta, future Trunks, and present Trunks all take some time to train, since Bulma still comes up with the idea of repairing Cell's old time machine. Cell and his crew also aid where they can, with Finn coming in clutch, using his mechanic skills to help repair the time machine. Mei and Goten want to travel to the future and help out, but Cell immediately denies this, though he does say they can help him train. The two kids reluctantly agree, and so Cell teleports the trio off-world, them arriving at a rocky, deserted-looking planet. Here, they can go all out. As everyone goes their separate ways, Buu sees Beerus, Whis, and Goku off, but decides to stay on Earth just in case either Black or Frieza return. The godly trio investigate the Kai, finding everything to be pretty much normal. Elder Kai and Soma were watching what occurred on Earth and did notice that Black's earring was green, unlike any that existed within Universe 7. Though Goku does ask about that one Kai from Universe 6. Well, a quick call to Vados reveals that guy is alive and clearly not pink, so he's probably not the culprit. But then both Soma and Kibito remember a Kai who used green earrings, someone they even sparred with recently. The group decide to investigate that lead whilst Soma stays on the world of the Kai in order to watch over things. About a day goes by before everyone meets up and the group that goes into the future is decided. Super Buu wants to go, however, if anything were to happen, or worst case scenario, if both Black and Frieza attacked Earth, he'd be the best suited to deal with that. Vegeta and future Trunks are the obvious first picks, with Cell offering to go as well just to beef up their offense. The trio have some trouble fitting in the machine, so Blue splits a piece of himself off, using it to shrink the trio and then pilot the ship. As they leave, Buu warns them that this future imposter may have allies and to keep their eyes peeled. With those ominous words, they blast off, encountering what was left of Earth's defense force and spending the night in their HQ as per usual. Cell, seeing the state of the civilians and especially children there, made him angry that Black would cause such destruction, such pain. Why not just destroy the Earth and be done with it? Why continually terrorize these defenseless humans? Well, at least this would soon be over, and the civilians could get a good night's sleep with them there. Once dawn arrived, the three warriors made their way out, Vegeta powering up and firing off a ki blast to summon Black, who eagerly arrived, ready for a fight. The prince goes into blue, though this doesn't surprise Black one bit, something the trio take note of. The prince continues his brutal assault, actually damaging the genie, though his body continuously regenerates while his power grows rapidly. Both Cell and Trunks grow wary of this opponent, especially since as he grows in power, his God Ki flares up. The android knows Buu can use God Ki, but it doesn't feel like this when he does, not even close, meaning this can't possibly be good. The Majin imposter continues to get beaten into the ground, though now he's smirking. Vegeta stops, trying to trash talk about how he could never use Buu's true potential, only to be shut up when a Keyblade pierces his chest. This causes both Trunks and Cell to fly in, the two instantly powering up and knocking Black back. The Hybrid Saiyan takes his father, setting him down somewhere safe whilst Cell uses Kaioken to further injure Black. The two have a surprisingly even battle, Cell even admitting he's always wanted to fight Buu all out. And since this was the closest he'd get to it, he should show off just how powerful he's really become. Cell yells out Kaioken times 10 before blitzing Buu and knocking him around the city like a ragdoll. The genie is actually being hurt by this, but knows he can regenerate from mere punches. However, when he sees a rather large red Kamehameha charging up, Black begins to sweat a little. That is, until Zamasu joins the battle. The Kai appears behind Cell, completely bisecting him with a Keyblade before blasting him away. Trunks is left perplexed at how a Kai could be so strong, but then remembers the warning from President Buu. Trunks grabs his sword, ready to fight as best he can, but that's when a giant final flash sweeps away both Zamasu and Black.
You thought you could get rid of a Saiyan warrior that easily? Well, get ready, because you haven't seen a fraction of what we can do.
Trunks doesn't know how Vegeta could have possibly survived Black's attack, but then he notices the small pink blob hiding in some nearby rubble. Of course, he completely forgot about that small piece of Buu. Looks like Black wasn't the only one with some tricks up his sleeve. With our heroes about to launch their counterattack, that is where we'll be leaving things off for right now. If you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate it if you body swapped the like and subscribe button, or maybe even went to the future and or past subscribe button to recruit it in your overly complicated plan to eradicate mortals. But even if you don't, thank you for getting to this part of the video. You guys have a good day or night wherever you are. That's it for now. Bye bye.